Sorry about that. I mean, I think one of the main things missing from this effort is funding, if I'm being really honest, because everything that you want to do to reach voters costs money, whether it's making copies of flyers or, putting ads on the radio. So that is an issue that has to be addressed. But, more to the point, the grassroots can do a great deal. And this year was a good example of that, when the notary requirement, which by the way has always existed in Missouri, it's just never been that much of an issue outside of college students voting, because for the average person, people just didn't use ballots by mail at all, so that was something nobody really thought about. And then suddenly, when it became clear that that might be a large scale need, people really did mobilize very well and set up a bunch of notary hotlines, notary hubs. A lot of groups got together. People became notaries for the first time. So that was a good example of the way that a grassroots movement can really take hold and do some major things. Another thing that happened, my organization worked with the League of Women Voters to go into the County Board of Elections during the August primary. And we got them to allow us to be deputized as poll workers and call people whose ballots had been rejected for deficiencies. So we went in there and we called folks who had made a mistake on their ballot envelope, but let them know that it was going to be rejected, and gave them, 3 options for fixing it. Unfortunately, not everybody could come in and fix their ballots, because many times they were, say, in a senior living facility and they couldn't leave because of COVID, or they just had no transportation. So that was really sad, and honestly, it was super upsetting. But the upside was that the county election board took the feedback from our effort and redesigned the ballot envelope to make it less confusing for voters. So now the envelope they're getting in November, it has much clearer instructions, and there's not this little box that if you miss checking it, your vote doesn't get counted. So those are great grassroots efforts that have paid some dividends. And
you got one head of a double-headed monster on here right now. You have Jennifer and her great coalition, and you also have Gina.
Gina McClendon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, we're all together. Gina is, we're tight. We're working on the same stuff.
Right. So those would be my first two. These great women. Those will be the first two, because they're going to tell you the truth. They're going to give you all the key facts that you need to know, not that what they want you to know. Mm-hmm. They're going to teach you that, and they're going to help you understand for you to go out and mobilize, whether it's on campus, whether it's in the Loop, Central West End, or wherever your hometown is, or whatever social media platforms you choose to use. They are a great, once again, We Power, Deaconess Foundation, Forward Through Ferguson, and to Hank was talking about climate, our local United Nations Association. I don't know if you all know we have one, but we do have one. I'm the chair of our Sustainable Development Goals. But yeah, I think those are some great institutions or entities to help start you off on the right path.
So and you all have really good suggestions. I think the voter access and engagement group at the Brown School, which Gina runs, is doing a whole bunch of prep work and a whole bunch of work today. Getting in touch with Jennifer and her group about how you can help before that in the day are extremely helpful. Wash U Votes is extremely helpful. I think that if you have some time, volunteering on these things can matter a whole lot between now and then.